What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Welcome to the beautiful Las Vegas. It is absolutely gorgeous here. See the Aria over there. See Park MGM. It was a show at Dolby Live, Usher concert. It was absolutely awesome. See Allegiant Stadium down there where the Raiders play. Got Delano, Mandalay Bay. Got a flight being taken right there. Need to clean the outside windows. It's an interesting place to be in. One thing is for sure. Two things is for certain. It looks much, much different in the daytime than it does at night, with all of the stumbling and everybody drunk. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Hey, we got another plane taking off right there. If you're tuning in with me from the last week where we were vlogging, you know we got the loft popping up, so Rita's probably up there sleeping like a little baby. Yes, she is, where you walk right upstairs. I am staying here at the Vdara. Got the workstation popping off over there where I get it in. And we're gonna be here for a little bit. So we're gonna be vibing, vlogging, having a great time. Hopefully you guys continue to rock with me and you are successfully subscribed to the channel. And if not, you're really missing out. Walk with me, guys, as we leave out of the Vdara. Last night over there, outside where the fire pit is. I don't know if you can see it out there. We had a recap. We were chilling out there having some drinks. Obviously, you see the front desk over there. But the interesting thing about it is that over here is usually where you would walk through to the Bellagio. That's closed. So I don't know if that's intentional, because I almost feel like since the Vdara is technically an MGM property, it's all the same. But then I heard that the Bellagio was purchased by somebody, but it's still considered MGM Rewards or MGM property or whatever like that. But I'm wondering if it's closed off that way because the Vdara is actually a part of the Aria, which means, and every time I come here, I'm still always looking at that installation. But I'm wondering if they're doing that so that we can actually walk through the Aria, or if they're working on something over there. They're probably just working on something over there. Got the Cosmopolitan right there. Got some friends here, and they were here for the Usher concert also. But got the Cosmopolitan over there. They're staying there. And we're gonna walk over through the Aria in order to catch the tram, because that's the alternative way. Since you can't walk through the Bellagio, we're gonna catch the tram, past the Aria, past Crystals, over to the Bellagio, so that we can come down on Flamingo Road, where Bally's used to be. Now it's named the Horseshoe. Catch the bus, go to the bank, so we can deposit some money. And also get to explore a little bit of the city that's off the strip. A lot of y'all don't really get off the strip, but it's very interesting. A lot of different ways, both good and bad, off the strip. So we're gonna go ahead and head this way, go through the Aria, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts from last week and what's happening. When you think about all of this is all literally desert. Ain't that tripped out to think about? Men made all of this. It's pretty insane to me. I think one of my favorite things to do, not only in Vegas, but any city, is to get off the strip, right? Get off whatever the popular tourist destination is Now, I do believe in being a tourist in your own city. However, I don't believe in just standing at one place. You know what I'm saying? You got to get off of downtown. You got to get off the strip. You got to go find a bunch of places that you've never visited before and go and do a bunch of stuff that you've never done before. And I think that that's what our expectation is for the next few days at least. Now that we hit the concert and we did the thing that we really was here for, but you stay a few more days so that you can go and really find what's really happening in the city, where the locals are.
Anton.
That's me, bro.
That's good, bro.
Chilling. What's your name, bro?
Shamar.
Oh, you gotta be in the vlog.
You gotta do a shout out.
What's happening?
What's good? You already know with the boy Anton Daniels.
Yeah. What's your IG, bro?
Easy Shade.
Easy?
Yeah.
You gotta spell it for the people. So
EAZYSHAE.
How long you here for, big dog?
Till tomorrow.
Okay, how long you been here?
Till since Friday. It's my girl
You ain't lost no money, did you?
Yeah, dog. I'm about to though.
Got my little girly shake right here. See it? I've been craving shakes all day for whatever reason. And then we up here watching the game, as usual. It's been a crazy playoffs, man. Like one of the best playoffs that I haven't seen in a while. Made me really glad about renewing my tickets. Hopefully we get the #1 pick. And you know what that's gonna mean, but today has been practically perfect already. Like, I don't think that there's anything that did not go well today at all. Is it anything that didn't go well today? I made Rita rest all day. Rita been resting for, it's hard to believe. It seemed like we've been here for longer than 2 days. Like we've officially only been here for like 2 days so far, so. Man, so disappointed. Like everything was going absolutely perfect. And then you get that one phone call. Why is it that, sorry, let me just vent my frustration. Let me actually go in to my hotel. Why is it that literally in the exact moment that I said, man, it has been a perfect day yesterday, is when I then get a phone call that forced me to rethink everything because it wasn't so perfect. Now, it doesn't mean that it completely messed up the day or whatever like that, but I guess I just don't understand from a business perspective why it's like God plays this cruel joke on us. I feel like I'm in a video game where we ain't really in the Matrix, to where like God will play a joke on us or something like that, where it seems like everything was all awesome and great, and then next thing you know, it's a monkey wrench in there. And it's all from a business in the business sense. You know, something happened with, you know, a particular contract or whatever, and it wasn't that bad actually. Nothing that you can't fix or anything like that, but you try to put things in place to prevent this type of stuff from happening, so that when you go out of town or when you're taking care of your business, that you don't have these issues. Headache, man. Headache. And it was in the exact moment where I said, all right, this day has literally been perfect, that everything just completely went off the rails yesterday. So much so to where I did wind up going to bed a little early, but a lot earlier than I anticipated, because I had planned on really partying, and I just couldn't take, like, my head. When things start messing up, especially with stuff that's out of your control, a lot of times you try to figure out a way to fix it. You try to figure out a way to fix people, fix situations. I don't know, man. It's wild. I can't really talk about it because it's outside of what it is that we got going on YouTube, and it's a really, you know, it's a real business, for real. So go ahead and wrap it up and start the next day, bro. So here's a fun fact for you guys. It is 6:35 p.m. Pacific, which means that it's 9:35 p.m. Eastern. And I've been up since about 2 a.m. Pacific, which is 5 a.m. Eastern, right? So essentially, I've been up from 5 a.m. till about 9:35 p.m. and I haven't really left the hotel room at all. Even to the point to where just got room service because I've just been working. And a lot of people really don't understand that this life isn't as glamorous as you may think that it is. Speaking of glamorous, let me get my Rolex. This life may not be as glamorous as you think that it is, because you only see the highlights. And so one of the things that I aim to accomplish on this Tuesday, April 17th. Oh, this ain't even Tuesday, this is Monday. I'm getting my days mixed up. Okay, so on this Monday, April 17th, 2023, one of the things that I'm trying to show you guys, not specifically today, but just in these days in a life, is that the highs are really highs, and then the rest of it is just a grind. Like, I've been on my computer, I've been doing conference calls, I've been in meetings. I probably did no less than 7 meetings today. Well, 7 coaching calls, conference calls, meetings, corporate America, all those things. And so in between that, you putting stuff together, you getting contracts signed. I got a contract that was sent over to me for specific work that was supposed to be done to the new house that I'm building. Shout out to the Patreon members. You know that I'm documenting that journey, in which I'm gonna drop that for you to show you exactly what it took for me to be able to build a home from scratch for the first time. Cash, 100% cash. We don't do any financing, right? I live stream for the Millionaire Morning Show because we don't miss on that. And I had to figure out whether or not I'm actually gonna take time off from my corporate position because I can't remote login VPN from the Dominican Republic, in which I'm gonna be there all next week. So yeah, still in Vegas, even though the sun is setting. And I think I'm about to head outside. I'm still trying to balance between Eastern time zone and Pacific, because I know that I'm gonna have to go home very soon. And then as soon as I land back to the crib, we got some work to do inside of the office, and then we got to shoot a live stream, or I'm sorry, a panel show inside of the studio. And then the very next day we fly out to the Dominican Republic. So every week is just chaos. When it warms up outside, we get really, really busy because that's the travel season. And then as soon as we get back from the Dominican Republic, we got the Patreon meetup. And so we're gonna be doing that. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap in because you know that I fly to a different city pretty much every single month in order to figure out how I can add value to y'all in person. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and hit the strip. We're gonna see what's popping out there. Not much, just probably just gonna go get a shake, see the people, do a little bit of recording, and then see what the vibes is.
But it was as good as quality.
Finally got out of the house, caught the bus. Exciting times catching the bus, only to go over into a bank and an ATM that was closed, or at least the pathway to get to the ATM was closed. So then we caught an Uber, went over to, where did we go to? Did we first go to New York, New York? Went and hung out at New York, New York. We are now inside of Park MGM, but specifically went over to New York, New York, and a Hershey's store, and walked down the strip. And then we just had a taste for Shake Shack. I don't know why, but we had like this, well, I had a taste for Shake Shack because I wanted a shake and a burger. And then still wild, still trying to get used to this time change. It seemed like time goes so much faster because technically it's East Coast, it's past 12. I think another one of the things is it's very difficult for me to record in certain places because I've been looking forward to recording in certain places, but I just couldn't because they had the music pumping so loud. So another light day. It's just nice to be in somewhere different. I will say though, I was talking to my daughter this morning, or this afternoon. It was evening there, but it was afternoon here, and I was talking to her. I really, really, really miss my daughter. Rita was on the phone with her, FaceTiming with her probably for about a good 4 or 5 hours. And then I FaceTimed with her, and we was talking, and I really just have this love and affinity for my family. It's almost becoming quite possibly one of the only things that or the main thing that means anything to me, but I do. We have this close, tight-knit, this bond that's just can't be explained, and I love it. I enjoy it. I booked Rita a 2-hour massage tomorrow. Now, some people may say, well, Anton, she's laughing. Anton, you're such a loving husband. You always make sure that Rita is taken care of. And it is a very, very, very expensive massage. She thought it was 1 hour. I said, no, you're going to go ahead and get your 2nd hour in, baby girl. Now, why would Anton do that? Because if I send her for a 2-hour massage, it's probably going to cost me like $500, right? That means I get a free 2 hours to work, play. I could jump on the furniture. I can do whatever it is that I want to do. I'm gonna give her I might get her the hot rock treatments and all of that good stuff, right? Fellas, sometimes you have to buy your freedom. It's gonna cost you either way. It's gonna cost you one way to get rid of them. It's gonna cost you one way to keep them. Some guys pay to get them. Some guys pay for them to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's quite windy out here. Another long day at the office. Switching it up a little bit today, so we decided to come and pick up a car, rent a car. I've always wanted to drive this version of the Corvette because I think it's absolutely spectacular. Quite possibly one of the best American vehicles ever made. Very affordable Corvette specifically, but this one is spec'd out, I believe it's over $100,000, the version of the Corvette that we're looking at right now. Got to get over in the left lane really quickly, but I've decided to come and jump in a car because we just want to take a drive out. Maybe I'll shoot out to the desert. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But we wanted to jump in a vehicle in order to be able to have that good time so that we can see some of the things that you wouldn't normally see if you had to take an Uber. Might shoot downtown. Might go over to, I think it's called the Red Rock or something like that. Not the Red Rock Casino, but the Red Rock exhibits. But if we're going to do so, then probably going to have to do so in a decent amount of time because I want to do so before the sun goes down. Over here at the Wynn buffet, the food is really good. I got chicken cordon bleu, pasta, corn, cornbread. Rita has lobster and pretzels and crab legs. I'm sorry, I don't really eat seafood like that. But we got to save room for dessert. But the buffet is absolutely awesome, right? Like, you see ready-made tacos, or not ready-made tacos, made-to-order tacos, and all of the kind of fixings, and it's a vibe, and it's nice. So one of the things that I wanted to do before I left is make sure that I hit a buffet, because of all the times that I've been in Vegas, I've actually never actually went to the buffet. So here at the Wynn, I also ran into at the tables, or inside of the casino anyways, ran into the Saint Center. So shout out to the Saint Center, exchanged information, possibly a collaboration is in the works in the future. So I love what he does. I love his work, very much a cool guy, a gentleman. And yeah, Saint Center is pretty cool. So shout out to the Saint Center. But I'm about to chow down and get to this dessert. And then we're going to jump back into the Corvette, probably see what's happening out here in these streets, and then play it by ear from there. Just got back from another epic day in Vegas. Every day has been awesome, absolutely awesome. But we got to the hotel, and we pulled up, and Rita went and picked up something from the desk. And then as she picked up something from the desk, birthday gift that was waiting for me from, specifically, Rita, can you read that? Is that Mr. Trust Me Vegas?
Yes.
At Mr. Trust Me Vegas. At Mr. Trust Me Vegas. Says, Anton Daniels, happy belated B-Day. Enjoy your special stay in Sin City. I've been watching you for a while and appreciate what you're doing for the community. Just a little gift. A bottle of my brand. So let's check it out. I have not opened this yet at all. And this is what was in it. So check this out. This is what it is that I've seen. This is right up Rita's alley. You know, I'm reluctant to open it. I'm reluctant to open it because I need to get it home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it like this. But shout out to at Mr. Trust Me Vegas is in the building. Trust Me Vodka, I appreciate it. Maybe you can see that, a little bit of that. A little bit of that. So I'm not gonna open it because I need to get it home. And I believe that I can put this in my truck. Yeah, this is glass, so we should be cool. I can put this in my luggage and get this checked in. So thank you guys, I appreciate you. But yeah, I had another epic night and life was good. In addition to that, Rita had a 2-hour massage. And so she's feeling nice and rested well for the night. You know what I'm saying? I had an epic live stream. I'm gonna be chilling, and I pretty much got like another half a day / day in Vegas, but I got to catch a flight back to Detroit so that I can take care of some business there for the next couple of days. And then I'll be taking a trip out to the Dominican Republic, specifically Santo Domingo. Is that what it's called, Santo Domingo? Mm-hmm. You so tired? Go upstairs and get yourself together. Go ahead and get ready for bed. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Just wanted to finish tapping in for the day and kind of give you all the recap of my day for whatever it is that I didn't capture. The buffet was awesome. The Wynn is awesome. I always like going into the Wynn and the Encore because I like the decor. I like how everything is set up. I like old Vegas, right? That's my thing. Like, my biggest thing is I'm not as much enamored with the new technology and things like that. I'm more focused on, you know, what the history of things are. And that's not just with regard to Vegas itself. That's just everything. I like, you know, seeing what it used to be and seeing relics of it. I remember one time when we came to Vegas, Rita and I, we went to the old sign museum. You said what? Yeah, it was dope. I do like looking at Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. And, you know, I like the new stuff too, but I like also seeing Binions and the Golden Nugget and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we went down to downtown Vegas. We went to the park, what's the name? Container Park. We went to the Container Park. We drove around all through Vegas, went through the different neighborhoods and stuff like that. I know one thing, I don't think that I could live here at all. It's nice to visit, it's nice to party, but it's certainly not a place that I would want to raise my kid in. Anyways, till tomorrow. What's the key to a woman's heart?
To mine.
The key to your heart? What's the key to your heart?
I love your thoughtfulness and the effort and like just knowing that you pay attention to like little things that I say, just like in general conversation.
So it's not the trips, it's not the pampering, it's not the massages, it's the effort and the thoughtfulness.
No,
I could have saved myself some money if that was the case.
No, all of that plays into it as well. But the thoughtfulness is like there too. That makes sense.
What's going on, friends? It is April 19th, Wednesday, 5:16 a.m. West Coast time. Been up since about 2:30 a.m. And one of the reasons why it's important not to wake up late on days like this is because I have to catch a flight. I am cool though, simply because I'm a platinum member for MGM. I'm not Noir, and being that I can get a late checkout. So I'm kind of feeling this West Coast time thing and that you can get up super early. You got to be an early riser though, because it kind of helps, I think, with people that can get up early and get things done, but then you have still a lot of daylight to be able to go out into the streets and make it happen. However, it can mess you up if you don't really know how to keep your time together, simply because you can go to bed at what you think is a regular time, and then you got to be up in 2 or 3 hours. But I'm cool because of the way that I work and the way that things operate. The other side of the equation is I also had to get up early in order to get things done, because got to catch a flight this afternoon to get back to the crib. So I think I got a 2 something boarding time, almost 3 o'clock or close to 3 p.m. takeoff time, in which we'll get back to the Midwest, since it's a like 4-hour flight or some crap like that. And then you got 3 hours, 3 hours ahead on Eastern Standard Time. I think I'm gonna get back at like 10 something. So you wanna make sure that everything is taken care of. You gotta prepare for your meetings. You still gotta deal with corporate America. You still gotta make sure that everything is scheduled from the editors and the people that, you know, help manage the channel and stuff like that, as far as the videos that gotta go up, and social media and Instagram. And then you gotta call the general contractor and the project manager for who's helping to build the house, to make sure everything is taken care of. So you got to try to do all of that. But I will say also, one thing that also helps is the fact that almost every Delta flight, and it seems like they almost completely rolled out Wi-Fi, complimentary Wi-Fi for medallion members on the flights, so that I can have internet. I can communicate with people back and forth and things like that, but you're still not gonna be able to do no upload, no modifications. And it's really good because basically today turns out to be a whole work day, even though you out of town. So you're getting everything done early in order to make sure that things is taken care of as far as scheduling things to go out. And then on top of that, because I got like a 4-something hour flight, I can get a lot of stuff done as far as preparing for tomorrow. So you make your path a lot easier for when you land, and then you got to take care of business over the next couple days, because I got a lot of recording to do, a lot of uploading to do, and everything like that before we catch another flight 2 days from then in order to head over to the Dominican Republic. Very uneventful day today, and that, you know, we did the show, the Millionaire Morning Show. Been up all morning actually trying to take care of business. Took about an 1.5-hour nap though. I needed to get that edge off, and now we at the airport in the lounge, specifically Club LAS, or LAS, short for Las Vegas. Switched over to the Chase Sapphire card from American Express Platinum because a buddy of mine was saying that he liked it better, the points, more access, using it at more places and things like that. And so far, it's actually been a really good card. So using it for everything business related, including the meals and entertainment, everything that we did in Vegas as far as the hotel room and stuff like that. And you gotta have a credit card, right? Simply because you gotta have one in order to rent cars. You gotta have one in order to reserve your hotels. You need them for practically everything. So I might as well get the one with the points, even though we never carry a balance. And you know, I teach this to my bag chasers on a regular basis. We never carry a balance. And as a matter of fact, for most people, I say you shouldn't have credit cards at all, because I'm not sure if you're responsible enough to be able to roll with it. But what it does is it does afford us free access to certain lounges, depending on where we are. Now, we don't have access to the Sky Club, in which, you know, I love the Sky Club. But it really doesn't matter because we're not at the airport long enough for it to really even mean anything. The Los Angeles Sky Club is absolutely awesome, but we're not really here long enough for it to really mean anything, because we only sit in the lounge for any more than 15, 20 minutes, wind down, maybe get a drink or two. And then when you jump on a plane, we ride in first class everywhere. So we're gonna have our meal on the plane. We're gonna have a 3-course meal on the plane anyway. So, but yeah, it's cool. You know, we chilling here for 15, 20 minutes. Much different, obviously, than the Sky Club, but it serves its purpose. We chilling, and you get access to certain lounges worldwide. So, nothing major to report here. Business as usual. These are one of those days, especially the day that you fly back into Metro Detroit or fly back to your home base. These are one of the days where it's not a lot going on. I spent the overwhelming majority of my day making sure that everything is taken care of from a business perspective, because you can't miss just because you got stuff going on. You can't miss just because you're on vacation. You can't miss just because you vlogging or you got to have a travel day or whatever. You got to plan for that stuff ahead of time. let me say one more thing on top of this. I'm starting to notice, and it happened again because I wasn't really paying attention at first, but it happened again. I'm starting to notice that there's a lot of preferential treatment from other black people. Have you noticed that too?
Yes.
It's been very, very noticeable. Whether it be the girl at the front desk, the people that clean up, it doesn't matter who it is. Now, at first I'm like, well, this just happens because you get what it is that you put out. But then I started paying attention to how it is that they treat other people. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I think that may be something that I address on the Millionaire Morning Show in my opening monologue or something like that. Second thing is, I absolutely destroyed Vegas. Every trip that I've ever taken to Vegas, now back in Detroit, it'd be a completely different conversation. But in Vegas, man, I cannot remember ever having a losing trip. Not one. But this one was exceptional. I mean, exceptional. I'm talking about five-figure destroyed in the tens of thousands of dollars. I didn't lose one day. Not one day that I decided to go to the craps table. Craps table was my game. And then I did a couple little blackjacks, in which I made like a couple $1,000s from the blackjack table. But in a general sense, we killed Vegas. Absolutely destroyed Vegas. It was a great trip. Flight was cool. It's almost 10:30 at night. Going over to the baggage claim to go and pick up my luggage. I was doing the numbers for this month, and my business expenses totaled $92,000 this month. This is the highest month that I've ever had from a business expense perspective. A lot of it is future things that I've made deposits for, that I've paid for ahead of time. Sometimes you have really, really big purchases that you make from a business perspective that you don't realize, but you forward the money ahead of time, but that you don't realize or take delivery of until later. No, I'm not talking about cars or anything like that. That's much, much later. But very, very big month. Did a lot in revenue from all of my different businesses. But I'm spending a lot of money also, especially with regard to building a house. And then my goal is to build 2 to 3 houses every single year. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, ran the numbers of what I anticipated versus what we actually had. It's pretty accurate, a little bit more than what I expected. But I generated a lot more than I expected. So had to get rid of some money. If y'all want to know how we move or why it's important for us to get rid of the money in order to continue to build our wealth, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm about to see my baby. I'm about to see my baby. Woo, there she is. She's a little dusty, but there she is. My baby. Hey, girl. What you doing out here, sitting up here all by yourself with that red leather interior? I missed you. Well, I know one thing. It's always nice to come back to a better home and not feeling like you're on vacation, because everything is just as great at home, if not more, than it is when you left. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Anton Daniels.
Hi, Mercedes. Good morning, friends. It's Thursday, the 20th of April. We are effectively 2 days away from boarding our flight to head over to Santo Domingo to the Dominican Republic. I'm barely ever home. I'm barely ever home. A lot of people think that my life is just like you sitting at home, you go to the office, you sit at home or whatever. No, very rarely am I ever even at home at all. I'm always working. When I am in Detroit, I'm always working. I'm always moving. I don't work from home, even though I have the capacity to do so. I got all of the equipment I need. I got the cameras I need. I have, 2 different computers that I work from. But I'm barely ever home. I'm always grinding. I'm always on the road. I'm always hustling. I'm always networking. And the days that I am home, I'm really only there to sleep. Very rarely do I ever get a chance to just sit in the crib, enjoy my phenomenal bed, look at my great views or whatever like that. But I'm okay with it because this is the life that I chose. And, you know, there's benefits to it that other people can't. I think the biggest thing is this right here, right? When you're not home, you don't really have a lot of reason to have a lot of expensive stuff, right? So you don't need big cars. You don't need to spend a lot of money on housing and things like that. You certainly don't need a huge house. So what you do is you pay for the location, you pay for the quality, the serenity. But I think that people that have a lot of resources, even though they don't spend a lot of time enjoying the spaces that they're in, even when it comes to, like, for example, I probably go to less than half of the Pistons games. But when I get a chance to go, I want to sit in the best seats, right? When I drive, I want to drive in the best cars. When I lay my head or when I wake up in the morning, I want to look at the best views. And so that's the thing that you work for and you enjoy, that comes along with the game. It's like when I fly, I want to fly the best. And it's really just a matter of convenience. It's like, what's the point of acquiring all of these resources and making money and doing great things if it doesn't translate into you being able to enjoy yourself when you have the capacity to do so? I think that everybody works. And the problem with most of society is that they think that they exist to enjoy. You don't. You exist to add value into everybody and everything around you, including this earth. My goal is to leave this earth in a better space had I not been here. So if I'm not doing that, then, you know, you just existing to take up resources. You bacteria, you're a virus, you're a cancer, you know? And so that's kind of my mentality. I love the golf course, the views of the golf course when you're driving, you know, on your way down into the office. I'm still conflicted about the idea of moving completely to downtown Detroit, but we'll see what happens. It's a bunch of Hebrew Israelites over there on that corner right there. You see them right there? Bothering these good folk down here spending their tax dollars. They're trying to make sure that they have a good time and interacting with their family on this rainy April day. It is the next day, specifically the 21st of April. And you got a lot of different people out here. You got Lumen over there. A lot of people are having dinner. You got different people taking pictures by the fountain. We are in Campus Marcia specifically and having a good time. But let me give you guys a little bit of an update. So, hey, I got a flight to catch tomorrow. What up, though? I got a flight to catch tomorrow. And during that flight, I'm going to be on it for the equivalent of about 8 hours. Well, 6 hours. But then you have to account for a layover. I hate layovers. I'm never taking a layover. Or I hate taking layovers. But there is no direct flights to Santo Domingo. Am I even saying that right? Santo Domingo? There is no direct flights to Santo Domingo from Detroit. So you got to fly into Atlanta, have a little bit over an hour layover, and then you jump back on a flight, and then you take like a 6-hour flight or something like that over to Santo Domingo. I don't know exactly, so don't quote me. But we're going to be super comfortable. Also, just booked my flight to Tokyo, so I'm incredibly excited about that. Tokyo has always been on my list of places that I have to visit before I die. One of my bucket list places. And I have this thing called 300 Things, and I actually got it from Steve Harvey, the actual title for it. I actually always did it. We got the draft in 2024 coming to Detroit very soon. but I've always done it. It's just that Steve Harvey kind of put a label to it, and he added an exact amount to it. I didn't have an exact amount. But these 300 things are basically things that I want to do both small and large in my lifetime. So for example, visit Tokyo, Japan, visit Paris, France, make sure that I move my office down in Detroit, replace all of my socks in my drawer, get a new MacBook Pro, pay off all your cars, get out of debt, build a real estate portfolio, buy your first property, all of these things, right? And so for the last maybe 16, 17 years, I've had this rotating list, but I always keep it up to 300. So when I accomplish something, both big and small, I check it off the list. I've recently modified it to where it can be in my Apple Notes, probably within the last few years, so I can literally just check it off the list. And it's absolutely awesome, right? What I'm trying to inspire you guys to do is to make sure that you're very, very intentional with what it is that you're looking to accomplish in your lifetime. Because if you never say or do anything, you never will accomplish anything, because everything is an objective. And so when I see and I talk to people and they say stuff like, well, I just want to be successful, or I just want to be financially free, you don't have a real tangible goal that you're working towards, because there is no real specific thing that you can document and that you can reverse engineer in order to get to the place that you're supposed to be, right? And so what we find ourselves doing is just kind of mythically living until we get ready to die, and we don't actually accomplish anything because we don't have anything that, you know, to gauge ourselves against. See the queue line? I love riding the queue line. Actually, I think it's free right now. And they just redid that building. That's the Capital One building. And then they got some retail space available for lease at the top. So that's pretty awesome. They got a Capital One cafe over there. And then, of course, you got Canada over there. And then I might be visiting Montreal or Quebec or something like that. But yeah, man, it's an awesome time to be alive. I'm very, very much looking forward to going to Tokyo, Japan. And I don't even think it's anytime soon. It's probably, if I had to guess, well, actually, I think I'm going in August. So, what's this, April? So in 4 months. What I like to do also is I like to make sure that I plan way ahead of time. And the reason that I like to plan way ahead of time is because often at times you get the best prices. My prices are what they are simply because, you know, we fly in Delta One. So for me and my family, it's gonna cost me about $31,000 total for getting my tickets to fly Delta One, because we doing a straight direct flight. The flight is 13 hours. If the flight wasn't 13 hours, I wouldn't even mind not flying Delta One or whatever. I would just go regular first class. But since it's 13 hours, I'm gonna go ahead and do the thing that's in my own best interest. But I haven't had a whole lot of time to pick up the camera and vlog. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update, or give me an update, because I'm back to really documenting my life in real time, so that I can come back and I can look at this long form content and I can say, yo, this is what was happening in my life at this particular time and these dates during my birthday or around my birthday. Just obviously got back from Vegas, so Vegas was absolutely awesome. I'm enjoying life, man. I'm enjoying life. So I'm looking to go to a bunch of places that I haven't been to. I got the Patreon meetup coming up in Dallas, so that's gonna be awesome. So that's just a little bit of an update. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow, or maybe a little bit tonight, because I'm actually about to go home and live stream and prepare for me to take that early morning flight over to Santo Domingo. It's 3:45 in the morning. Just now getting to the airport. I haven't been asleep yet. One of the benefits of getting a flight this early, I got a 5:45 a.m. flight, in which you don't even board until like 4:45 or some crap like that. Because at the airport it's completely empty, because it's one of the first flights out. And that means that it's really light security, especially for international travel, even though I got a layover in Atlanta just for an hour and some change. But I got some work that I got to get done, because I was checking up and seeing what was happening over at Fight Club because I love Fight Club, and you know what we do on Fight Club. And the first rule of Fight Club is you don't really talk about Fight Club. So I'm actually breaking the first rule right now. However, yeah, we got that international travel. So I got an hour now, and then I got a couple hours on the plane in order to get the rest of my work done. And then we fly over to the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, and I can get the rest of the work that I need to get done for Sunday and Monday. And that way I'll have the rest of the weekend in order to just be able to chill and have a good time. So while Rita and Leslie is over there playing with augmented reality, I'll lock down, take care of some business, and get the rest of this work done so that I can get it popping. Not sure why I was so off.
I'm so glad I don't know who mentioned it.
With my flight times.
Do with the immigration thing.
For some reason I thought it was gonna be like a 6-hour flight.
Took forever,
but I've never been here. 2 hours over to Atlanta, and then 3 hours over into the Dominican Republic apparently. So it should be a pretty cool flight, pretty quick flight. I'm gonna take a nap, hopefully get something to eat, get a little bit of work done, then we'll be there. Just landed here, or just drove here. I'm glad I actually rented a car instead of taking taxis everywhere, because them taxis are sketch, boy. Sketch in the mud. But got the standard room, it's pretty dope. Got the balcony that we just came off of, is what you see down in the back right there. Got the fridge. Go ahead and shut this. Hotel is pretty nice. Obviously, I only pretty much stay at Marriott properties. I'm gonna go down and check out the pool. Just got all of our stuff delivered. Sky priority, of course. Yep, got the safe in there. And let me just check out this bathroom really quickly, giving y'all the tour. Pretty standard. Got the shower right there. Got the, got everything. It's what we need, right? Modern accommodations in a very, very, very wild city. Got air conditioning. That's nice. My first impressions of being here in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic is this place is wild. I mean, it is incredibly wild. I think that wild is probably an understatement, because you land here, right? And as we're landing here, I'm looking out the window, and I'm looking at the different places that we're flying over. And as you continue to get closer and closer to landing, obviously you're flying over neighborhoods, businesses, and it looks like something out of a movie. It looks like one of those Brazilian towns where everything is stacked up on top of each other. Remember when Vin Diesel was running from my man, the movie star, The Rock? Remember when Vin Diesel was running from The Rock in the Fast and Furious, and they were running through Brazil or whatever like that? He was chasing them. It looks like that. Like everything is 10, you know, cans or whatever, right? And then, you know, going through customs, you know, I bumped into a wall and a piece of the molding fell off. And then, you know, I'm talking to the customs agents, and everybody is really cool. Everybody is cool. You know, I was tipping them or whatever. I need to actually go over to a bank, and I should have got it when I was at the airport, but I need to get the exchange dollars so that I can have the correct currency, so that I don't have to use my card for everything. I am going to use my card for most things, but I do plan on tipping in their currency, right? But, you know, I went over and I got my rental car, and I got my rental car from National, but you got to do everything manually, and I had to go up to the counter. And then when I got the car, you know, I had to link up with the dude, and I had to wait for them to bring one back. And it's actually the weekend, so it's not even, you know, that busy as far as the different people. And then he was like, yo, when you go into the towns, it's gonna be cool on the weekend, but during the week, it's gonna be crazy. Now, I took a detour, right? I purposely took the wrong turn so that I can go down a specific street that actually was going in the exact same direction as the overpass for like, you know, several miles in order to kind of like bypass all of the local traffic. And so it's like an overpass and then it's an under thing, right? And on that under thing, you've seen everything that was going on around you. I'm talking about wild, absolutely wild. But it gave me a level of appreciation for what it is that we have here in America, right? I don't think that a lot of people, because they don't get out of their city, even if you in a hood, right? I don't care what hood you in. Your hood in America, well, I'm not gonna say all hoods, but most hoods in America is 10 times better than what the hoods are or what just the normal streets are here. I would never let my wife or my daughter come without me. You know, I would never let them really go without me to a foreign country anyway, but I don't see how women travel alone to these places. My hotel is pretty awesome. Obviously, I stick with a specific brand, and I'm not gonna keep mentioning that brand simply because they ain't sent the check yet. I do like the fact that the time zone is the same as it is back home in Eastern Standard Time, so I don't have to deal with the same thing that I was dealing with over in Vegas. There are a couple baddies that walked around, but I don't even see how dudes feel comfortable enough to put themselves in a position to link up with these chicks in the first place. And you don't even know the culture. You don't really know what's going on here. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. And so I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking forward to the continued growth within myself by, I didn't even bring none of my Rolexes. I didn't bring my Omegas. I didn't bring none of that, right? I'm just completely Apple Watching it up. One pair of shoes, one pair of joggers, one pair of shorts, you know, multiple different t-shirts, a bunch of different drawers. I'm straight up roughing it, you know, and it ain't even really roughing it because I got the Apple Watch Ultra or whatever, but I'm not rocking out like I used to. I got one hoodie for when I was on a plane because I knew it was going to get a little chilly with the air blowing and all of that other type of stuff. But I'm looking forward to immersing myself in the different cultures as I travel. I recently booked my trip to one of my bucket list places, which is Tokyo, Japan. And so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. I took into consideration how I was riding on the plane and all of that today, and I got to do Delta One. I know I paid a lot of money for my Delta One, but I think that it's worth it. I think getting a good night's rest is worth it. I paid specifically about $10,000 per seat. I paid $30,000 total for my round trip flight to and from Tokyo, Japan. It's a 13-hour overnight their time. But I'll be able to chill, be a little bit more relaxed as I can possibly be. It's only one overnight flight from Detroit to Tokyo, Japan. But every other flight is a layover, and those extend to 16 and 18 hours. And the only people, thankfully, that actually do an overnight flight from Detroit to Japan or to Tokyo, Japan is Delta. So I'm cool with it. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the comfort of my family, my daughter. I'll pay for the convenience. I'll rock with it because I think that life is just as much about experiences as it is lifestyle and stuff. So I'll pay for the experience. I'll pay to get to see things. It's a lot of places that I want to visit. I want to visit Tibet. I want to visit Paris. I got to go get over to Rome. And I'm not talking about on no cruise or nothing like that. I want to spend a week or two immersing myself in different parts of the culture, seeing different things. I did get a rental car in order to be able to navigate through because these taxis, I noticed that everybody is riding on the back of everybody else's bikes and stuff. Wild. Absolutely, positively wild. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully y'all enjoying these a little bit longer form content. I've been really busy this last week. Did the power just go out? The power just went out. I am in a Marriott hotel, in a very nice hotel, and the power just went out. So this is interesting. The internet is still on, but the phone is still on. The air just went out. The lights just went out. The hotel apparently went out. And let me show y'all. Let me give y'all a little bit of a preview. How do I know this, right? Because those lights are still on right there, but the ones along the edge right here, like this right here, these keep flickering. See it? See how it's flickering? Instability with the grid. It ain't even raining or nothing like crazy, but man, this is, I don't know, this is not quite my thing, but I gotta figure it out. I love you, I appreciate you. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna be able to live stream in the morning with the instability that we have. And I'm in a good part of town. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.